A big bienvenue to our fans around the world from Montreal, Quebec. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
And folks, let me assure you that tonight's show is a lot better than JR's French. Sheesh.
Well, there's no question of that, King. These Montreal fans are ready to get started, and so am I. So what are we waiting for?
That submission is locked in, JR, and this is a tough hold to break.
It sure is, King. And even if you break the hold, it takes its toll on you.
What do you think of the match so far, JR?
I think these superstars are putting on one hell of an exhibition here tonight, King. I can't wait to see what happens next. Looks like he's trying for a pin here. 2. Didn't even get a 2 count on that one.
Jericho's so in love with the sound of his own voice that it wasn't enough for him to have an interview show on Raw. He had to go and become a rock star, too.
These WWE fans wouldn't support him like they do if he wasn't any good, King. That's not egotism on Y2J's part. That's just making the most of your God-given talents.
He countered that one perfectly.
I never get tired of watching Chris Jericho in the ring. Every time
He's really cranking up the pressure on that hold, JR.
He sure is. There's no doubt he's looking for the submission right here. If one of these superstars starts to build momentum, it could be the beginning of the end of this match.
That's right, JR. You don't see a lot of matches won with 1 or 2 big moves.
You sure don't. You've got to lay the groundwork first.
I don't think I've ever seen a superstar who overrates himself as much as Chris Jericho does. He must think he's Elvis or something.
I don't know if he's any Elvis, King, but he's a very successful rock star, and he's a hell of a superstar to boot. And there's the cover.
1. He really didn't think he was going to get the pin, did he?
This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE... A reversal. Can he capitalize on it?
There's the pin!
Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something, quick! I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not taking it easy on each other either.
It's been said a million times, but I'll say it again. This isn't ballet. Ruthless aggression is the name of the game.
I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week. The submission is locked in. This could be huge.
Oh my gosh, JR! You can't go long without tapping out to this.
I'll tell you what, King, the WWE superstars are about the greatest athletes you'll find in any sport, period.
What do you mean, just about, JR? Can you actually think of anywhere else that you can see athletes of this caliber?
I was just going for a little humility there, King. I'm not surprised it was lost on you.
Oh no! This is terrible! You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum!
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers. excellent counter. What ring presence.
Boy, these superstars have impressed the heck out of me here tonight.
Same here, King. We expected a solid match. We're seeing a great one unfold. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really?
Watch out! He reversed it! Boy, it's obvious these superstars have done their homework on each other.
They sure have, and this is one hell of an exam.
Let's hope it's not their final exam, JR. I'd love to see them go at it again.
Well, if I think the fans have their way, you'll get your wish, King. So, King, any predictions about the outcome of this match?
Oh, no. Every time I make a guess as to who's going to win, I never hear the end of it from you.
Maybe that wouldn't...
Wow! There's a hole you don't want to find yourself in, JR.
You sure don't, King. We've seen many a superstar tap out to this one.
I can't believe he countered that one. How can Shawn Michaels keep calling himself the Heartbreak Kid?
He's a slippery devil. His opponent has focused on that area all match.
Yeah, and now it's paying off. Here he goes, JR! He's been busted open! Look at all of that blood!
Would you at least try and not sound so gleeful, King? This is serious.
You're darn right it's serious, JR. It's deadly serious. All's fair in love and war, and this is definitely a war. I can't even imagine what these superstars will put each other through.
I don't think you'll have to use much imagination, King. I think they intend to show you right here tonight.
I'd ask you who you want to win this matchup, JR, but it's been pretty obvious since the start of the show who you're pulling for.
I'm trying to remain as objective as I can, King. Quite frankly, I'd rather see a good competitive matchup. That went nowhere.
No matter who wins this one, everyone's going to feel the effects of this match tomorrow.
And there's the submission. There might not be any way out of it.
There'd better be, or we're going to see a tap out right here. You think these fans have gotten their money's worth tonight, JR?
If they haven't yet, I'm sure they're going to by the end of this match.
Well, I don't say this too often, but I completely agree with you. Yes, that was an incredible move. What strategy?
Strategy, my Oklahoma ass. That's cheap, plain and simple. Look at Shawn Michaels. The future Hall of Famer has overcome so much adversity in his career. But the Heartbreak Kid's got more heart than anyone I've ever seen in this business.
You know, JR, HBK might be a living legend and all, but I wish he'd just keep his mouth shut and let his...
What a reversal.
These superstars are going to tear each other apart.
That's exactly what the fans paid to see, King, and they're not going to go home disappointed. And now a pin. This could be it.
2, 3.
I think he's trapped. The referee has called for the bell. There's no question that
Here's
was a
your winner.
hard-fought pin, King.
Chris
I'm actually surprised at the
Jericho.
outcome, JR. That match went a lot differently than I thought it would.
Well, that just goes to show you anything can happen in WWE.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Intercontinental Championship. From Orangeburg, South Carolina, weighing in at 245 pounds, Shelton Benjamin.
Going for it all, just try to be the best. Till we break them out, nothing more, nothing less. Wanna be known, want the respect. Don't do anything, I'll pass that test. Believing in yourself, man, changes everything. Yeah, I want it all, I'm taking the brand swing. Call me underdog, you can tell me anything. I got a lot of blessings, that's what fate brings. No stop, no stop.
And introducing the challenger. From Toronto, Canada, weighing in at 235 pounds, Chris Jericho.